Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
This is Oscar Bevis for IFLTV. Spence, my word, it's been a long time. It's good to see you, my friend. Looking very well, as always. Yeah, how's things?
Everything's great, man. You know, I've just come back from Jordan. We went into Palestine. We've done a food aid, so I've got to say a massive big up to 313 Al Medina Charity for all the love and support and all the brothers that went out there. So, you know what I mean, praise be to God. You know, it was an amazing experience.
Is it kind of a bit of a... When you come to things like this, does it ever just feel like second nature now? Because the amount of big fights you've been around, the amount of press conferences, the amount of world tours, the amount of red carpets, when you come to, even though it's a big fight, do you ever come to these and is it just kind of second nature?
It is. That's why a lot of them I don't go. I like to be at home and watch you guys do your stuff on YouTube. But if you know the history of the light heavyweight division, and when we're looking at a unified, undisputed light heavyweight championship, right? It takes things away. You look at things a lot differently. You look at things with the mindset of how, you know, the standout fight with me was in the 80s, Michael Spinks versus Dwight Muhammad Quarry for the undisputed world light middleweight championship, and it was something spectacular because it was a great fight. You know what I mean? Both men complemented each other, and they were coming from the late 70s into the 80s, where that was most probably one of the best times, apart from the 50s, of the light heavyweight division, right? But you flip the page now, in someone like Bivol, who's come out victorious against a Canelo, and people seem to forget that he was the underdog going into that fight and came out victorious. And someone like Beterbiev, who's just tyrannical, he's stopped or knocked out every person that he's faced. This is a wonderfully glorious fight, and it's taken someone like Turki Al-Sheikh to say, right, I'm going to make this fight happen. And you know what? And it's happening, and it's a beautiful, beautiful fight.
When you look at an undisputed fight with Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, it will reach the masses beyond boxing because they're heavyweights, they're big guys, and their characters kind of transcended the sport. A fight like this, is this a fight that could still capture a casual audience? Because normally undisputed fights, like I said, without the heavyweights, are kind of your hardcore fights. Could this still capture a casual audience, do you believe?
I think it will, because of the skill that's going to be demonstrated by the two men and how they will go at each other. I think it will be an amazing fight. I believe it will be an amazing fight because you don't beat a Canelo. You don't have a unbeaten record, and every fight that you've had has been a knockout. You don't have those things, and it not being that case. The guys, it's going to be a special fight.
Yeah. Who are you backing?
Beterbiev.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your reason?
Because he's knocked out everybody he's faced. Number one. Number two, he's a smarter boxer that's given credit for, right? He is susceptible to left hooks, as we saw Callum Johnson when he floored him with a left hook. But in saying that, I think he kind of underestimated Callum Johnson. Callum Johnson can bang, you know. Let's be real. And then what did he do? As soon as he got up after that, he just went on mad. So I got to tip Beterbiev. Not only that, but Beterbiev is very clever. You know what I mean? And like, he'll fight when he wants to fight. And when you pressure him, he'll take the shots. He's got a very good chin, and he'll cover up, and he'll say, okay then, I felt yours, now you got to take mine. Unless Bivol could... I can see Bivol outbox him for about 6 rounds, but I just think Beterbiev will catch him and start pounding away.
I think we heard the narrative when he fought Anthony Yard in London. We heard the narrative when he fought Callum Smith as well. Time's ticking. At some point, time's going to be too much, and there's going to be someone who catches him on the right side. But we're looking at a prime athlete up there. We're not looking at a man who is built like your average 40-year-old.
Listen, I'm not looking at his age. That don't mean nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Is it true boxers do get old overnight? Because I know it's kind of a cliche saying.
No, it's well, certain boxers, depends what wars you've been in. He hasn't really been in wars. If he's been in wars, then I'll say you could get old overnight. Like, for instance, on the undercard, and you ever trying, like, Deontay Wilder, he could have happened to get old overnight simply because of the three tyrannical fights that he had with Tyson Fury, right? That could have done something to him. But really and truly, sometimes a lot of things are mental as well. So when you look at someone like both Beterbiev and Bivol, they're both mentally tuned in, right? Both of them are. But like I said, I slightly favour Beterbiev, and we shall see come fight night. It's an excellent card.
You spent enough time around elite athletes and those right at the top. Are they really I'm not going to use the word unfazed, because both of these men will do anything to win those belts. But are they really as cool, calm and collected as they seem up there?
Yes. You know what? When you know
They got their nerve endings are just burnt. They've been in so many big fights.
No, people seem to forget that boxing is a martial art, right? It's not only a physical martial art, it's a spiritual and a mental one, right? And when you look at somebody like these two gladiators here, they are at the top level zenith of the heights of where you can go as a professional fighter. They're at that, and they're two special guys, and I believe come June the 1st, we're going to see something special.
We're about to see the 5v5 press conference. I know everyone said no speculating, but I think we kind of know what we're going to get. What tickles your fancy?
Hamzat Shiraz versus Ammo Williams. Ammo's a very good fighter. I spent some time with him. Hamzat Shiraz is like my little nephew. I love him. I love his family. And Hamzat Shiraz is the closest equivalent that we've seen to a British fighter emulating Oscar De La Hoya. And because of that, I slightly favor him to come out victorious in this fight. But Ammo Williams is an incredible fighter. You know what I mean? He's incredible.
It's a brilliant fight. And in the middleweight division, it's been stuttering a bit with Charlo having the belts. I know Janibek's got two now. It'll be good to see kind of Hamza, for us, get right to the top. Just quickly on one of the heavyweight fights, Daniel Dubois, Filip Hrgovic. Could we call that 50-50 or 60-40? What's the swing on that fight, do you think?
The swing on that fight's a 60-40 in Hrgovic's favour. Everybody's heard that Hrgovic knocked out Daniel Dubois in sparring. Everyone's heard of that, right? So let's not go on like it's a secret, because it's not a secret. But that don't mean nothing. Sparring is sparring, right? Daniel Dubois has reinvented himself under the tutelage and guidance of Don Charles, right? So, and why we got to give Daniel Dubois credit, look how he was in the last round against Gerard Miller, yeah? He was looking for Big Baby Miller. He was looking to knock him out. Like, he was winning on points. He could say, right, we'll just go points, we're good. He was like, no, brother, I have to knock you out. So because he's got that bit between his teeth, Hrgovic, since the passing of his father, bereavement is a strong thing to deal with. He hasn't really overly impressed me. So you know what? Daniel Dubois, I believe, is meant to come out victorious in this fight. You know what I mean? I meant to be.
And just one more thing. How unusual is it, I know you're a boxing historian, to get two heavyweights who will fight with probably 80 pounds between them, in Zhang, who was 290 for that last fight, and Wilder, who was about 215, 210. Has there ever been a gap that big between two heavyweights, Spence?
No. I'll say, what was it? Primo Carnera versus, what was that? No, there hasn't been. I'm going like 1930, you're going back to like 1935. There hasn't been that gap. There ain't been that, seriously, there hasn't been that gap. No.
It can't not be intriguing in some way.
It's intriguing simply because, you know, let me also, massive big up to Spencer Brown, Gold Star Promotion. He phoned me today and he said, I've got someone for you to speak to. And he passed the phone and I had a really long chat with Deontay Wilder. And Deontay Wilder's on it, you know. Trust me, right? I think before, with all this ayahuasca business, he was on some peace and love tour. I think it's very difficult to do things once you've amassed that amount of money coming from that adverse poverty where he come from, and he's rich and he's settled being rich. But I think now he's going to go out and grab this thing with two hands. But Zhang, he can also bang, right? So this ain't no joke fight. But depending on what Deontay Wilder, I think that's going to be crash bang wallet. And today being the anniversary of Marvin Hagler versus Tommy Hearns, I think we could kind of get something like that, you know? I really hope we do.
Mate, I hope so. Spencer, I really appreciate your time. Thank
You know
you.
what? I ain't
Thank
seen
you.
you so long in IFL. IFL, you need to use you more regular so the numbers can start flying back up. You know what I mean? Tell Coogan to start paying you more money. I'm going to have a word with Coogan. I'm going to have a word with him. If he doesn't want to pay up, I'm going to get Dylan White to deal with him. Peace, two fingers. I'm out. Keep up the great work here.
Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.